Well, good evening, everybody. So there are one-day specials, and then there are one-day specials. We are talking Tim Holtz, whoop, whoop, indeed, Natasha, with fabric. I'm going to get to this in 1 second, but let me introduce you to my partner in crime, the ever-talented, the lovely Natasha. Natasha, hello. There you are. Natasha, you look, I know I've said this already, you look like a Charlie's Angel. Other films, other brands are available. You're ready.
I've been practicing my moves.
You need to, like, literally. Good, I didn't do a very good job there. Okay, look, let me just explain what we're getting here. Quality is incredible. I'm going to give you a little indication of what's happening. When we do have a surge, a lot of people on the system, it does affect our graphics and the studio. At the moment, our graphics have gone. We knew this was going to be busy. We are having a busy start. I promise we're going to get the graphics on your screen in just a moment. You can get ahead on the website and use the apps. You are getting, the Hochanda app, I should say, 21 fat quarters from Tim Holtz. Now, when you consider how much, and I know we are going to bring the details on the screen in a moment, there is a great saving for these, but how much would you normally pay for a fat quarter? I'll direct that towards you, actually, Natasha. I'm just going to take one of the fat quarters out and we'll have a look at it. So for a fat quarter of this nature, what would you be saying we'd pay?
A designer fat quarter, £4.50.
Okay.
Easy, easy. You have to think that with anything that has been cut, you will pay a premium.
Yeah.
So you add on to the price the more cuts it's been. So the charm packs, things like that, are more expensive. It's a more expensive way to buy your fabric. So fat quarters are fabulous because you get a really useful, usable amount without having to have the expense of meterage.
The labour cost.
But there is a slight labour cost because there is an extra cut involved.
Yeah. Okay. But it is that versatility. You make a really good point. Now, when you consider if you were to go out, and Natasha's absolutely right, I was doing my research for this, and you all know this, don't need me to tell you that. But with regard to fat quarters, you would be paying £4.50, around that mark, for designer fat quarters. I was folding that wrong, I know, Chloe was looking at me. I realised I folded it up badly. Natasha,
yeah,
you anticipated this was going to be busy, right?
Yeah.
We are 2 minutes into the show.
Yeah.
We have an enormous amount of quantity.
But when it's gone, it's gone,
yeah,
right?
And when I'm so glad you said that, because that was going to be my next point. 10% of the stock has gone.
In 2 minutes?
In 2 minutes.
No wonder we have no graphics.
And I'm going to tell you as well, once, Natasha said it already, once it is gone, it is gone. So we are busy.
I don't think there are any magic phone calls. We've already tried that, haven't we, when it started selling before we even came to air.
No magic phone calls.
No magic phone calls. No. This is it.
There we go. I think I finally got that fat quarter back. Chloe, our floor manager, was in tears trying to see me do it. It was like a puzzle. Look, should we just enjoy the diversity that we are getting here? So 21 fat quarters, each one has its own charm, its distinctive style coming through, but it is Tim Holtz. So all the beautiful designs that you associate with Tim Holtz, if only you could hear what's going on in my ear. Let me just pause for a moment. I'm not doing this to add any drama. I'm just genuinely trying to give you an honest update. We are now 3 minutes into the show. Now 20% of the stock has gone. We're busy. I mean, we are seriously busy. I was talking to Natasha before the show, and she called it. And Natasha is, and I know I always talk very complimentary about you. I don't want you to think, Natasha, I say it's just because we work together, but you...
No, keep saying it. I'm very comfortable with it.
You really do. You really do know what you're talking about. And I always love it when I work with you because I find I'm learning so much. And we had a meeting, obviously, preparing for the show. And the first thing Natasha said, look, the quality of the fat quarters that you're getting here, the diversity of the design, the quality of the design, and the price. And that's one thing that Natasha was so keen on, that you're getting £11 saving, but even at full price, I think that's a good buy. So the fact that we're getting that £11 saving, the fact that it is Tim Holtz, because it's Hochanda, we can split the price in half with flexi payments. You did call it, Natasha. You said it wouldn't last. the full duration. We have to find out what happens, but if we've lost 20% of the stock within the first 3 minutes of the show, and now we're approaching 30% of the stock, actually that is very worrying. Forget tomorrow, I don't think it's going to last today. Got to go through all the designs that you are getting here. So tell you what I'm going to do. I will open these up, we'll keep in them options, and then when we go to Natasha, I will fold them back up. Is that fair? Fair, Chloe? Fairsies?
Yanis, you know that this is good fabric when I have it in my house.
Okay.
In my home, because I have the choice of all the fabrics. So, because that's what I do.
Yeah.
And Tim Holtz is in my kitchen.
Oh. Tim Holtz, all right, now.
But I mean, not, you know,
but
in fabric form.
Being able to have Tim Holtz in your kitchen, that's a biggie. Okay, so there's one. I will be quick here.
So whilst you're showing that, I went for it because obviously as paper crafters we know of Tim Holtz, and that was how I first discovered Tim Holtz, was through papercraft. Then to discover that he had this beautiful, incredible distressed range of fabrics. And on some of the selvages it even says, this is distressed fabric, you know, like this is okay, don't worry. Like I wonder how many people have sent it back because they've thought it's been, you know, someone spilt their coffee on it or something. Yeah. But that was partly why I went for it in my kitchen. Firstly, because they're a bit quirky, and secondly, because I have children. Okay. And so to be able to put that, I put them on the seats of my dining room chairs in the kitchen. I Oda coated them so they could be wiped clean. And 2 years on, these fabrics still look amazing. And each seat is a talking point when people come over and they pull, you know, it just looks like a plain white, you know, chalk painted chair, and then they pull it open and there's something like this. I've got the tickets on one of the chairs. Yeah. And it's just fun, you know, it's just a little bit different. And that was from Fat Quarters. That was just 6 Fat Quarters. Each one of these is a work of art. Yeah. And if you imagine what Natasha's been able to achieve just with 6 Fat Quarters, 21 Fat Quarters, the quality of the design. Tim Holtz, oh no, stop it. How much? Natasha, this is serious, because we actually, this is very serious. We're 7 minutes into the show and 40% of the stock has gone. So that gives you a real indication. We cannot get a hold of any more stock. We know this. We've asked the question. So we know for a fact when these have gone, they've gone. There is no way this bundle is lasting the full 1 day special. We've been looking, potentially, love this one. There's something about maps that I'm just drawn to. Potentially, and I'm only saying this in the interest, I do not want you to miss out. And I fully understand that sometimes we like to watch 1 day specials, we see the demonstrations, and then maybe we'll order a bit later on. I don't think this is gonna, potentially it might not even last this hour. We got 4-minute queues on our phone lines. We've had queues pretty much since the start of the show. It's Tim Holtz with fabric. Natasha, as I'm showing these, tell me a little bit about the quality of the fabric, because I'm feeling it, and it is a very good quality fabric. Yeah, so this is the other reason why 2 years on, they are still pristine on my seats that get a lot of wear and tear. Bear in mind I have a 6-year-old that can't sit still. I've got a not yet 2-year-old who likes to adorn everything with food and clamber everywhere. Yeah. And that is part of the reason, is because these fabrics are such good quality. Now I've put a quilting weight quality fabric and used it as an upholstery fabric, and that's because the weave is so good. It's not a loose wibbly wobbly weave that you're going to struggle with. It's a beautifully woven fabric. It's gorgeous. Gorgeous, gorgeous. I'm getting told off for making such a mess here, and I want to say my deepest apologies to floor manager Chloe, who always does a great job making things look so great. Chloe, I'm so sorry, but I still can't work out how you kept folding these. I just can't fold it like Chloe. All right, I'm sorry, we'll sort this out. Okay, I'll follow the crease. There you go. I'll carry on showing these. If it's any consolation, I spent 3 years just doing fabric and I still can't fold it. Well, so don't worry, don't feel bad. That makes me feel a lot better. Okay, we are over half the stock. I tell you what, shall I just pause there? Because I think we do need to get to demonstration. Oh, actually,
we're not going to get to demonstration. We'll go just show you the rest. I'm not going to tie this up. Just going to show you the details of the one-day special. Jokes aside, we're going to have some fun this hour, but I really think if you want to get a hold of this, please, and I'm only speaking to anyone who knows they're going to go for this. I'm never ever going to pressure you into a sales. That's not our thing here at Hochanda. If you want to buy it, fantastic. I want to give you that information though, that 60%, are we approaching or are we at 60%? See, that's ridiculous. 10 minutes into the show, we are at 60% of the stock. I would say there is a very, very real possibility the fat quarters are going to be gone within this hour. Now, we have got the options for 7 fat quarters. So breaking down the one-day specials into sets of 7. Having a look here, so $26.99 your price, getting 7 fat quarters. You choose the option that really speaks to you. So this is option number 1. Option 2. And then option 3. That is a great price for a set of beautiful fat quarters. If it was me personally at home, I would absolutely be going for the one-day special, because think how much you're paying for your first flexi payment with the one-day special, and you're also saving £11 as well. So great value for money. That's just me. Now, just to let you know, if you do want to get half meters of the range from Tim Holtz, we do have half meter. Pick a mix, $14.99 for 2 half meters. Tim Holtz fabric, that is phenomenal. So you get to see all the designs. Should we just start here and I'll just start showing you the designs that we are getting. So this one is, well, we'll go through. I apologise, I don't have the names to hand.
If you look on the selvage,
okay,
it's got the name on the selvage.
I will be looking at that at some point. I just don't want to make a mess. We'll just look at the design. If you go onto the website, all the names very, very clear. You've got your map going through there. Now this is nice. Lovely. So we will be seeing some demonstrations with Natasha in just a moment, having a look. I love the layering that you get with Tim Holtz, but then he's got that nod to the past with these beautiful maps. Say there is something about a map that is so appealing, a bit of a vintage vibe here. Tim Holtz is known for colour. So how often, have you ever played the game, what is your adult entertainment name? No, wait. No, can I just say, no, wait, I said that wrong. Not adult entertainment name, not adult entertainment name, your entertainment name. I don't know where adult came from. Not adult entertainment name. What is your entertainment name? So your like, you know, stage name. You just pick a distressing, not adult. What would yours be, Natasha?
I don't know how to play that game.
Yeah. Shabby Shutters and stuff like that.
My adult entertainment name is Coco Miles.
Well, there we go, Coco Miles. But you have to look at the distress eggs and go, I don't know where adult came from. It's not adult at all. I don't know why I said that. This is a family show. It's 6. Let's carry on down quickly while I still have a job. Okay, this is your bouquet. I honestly don't know where that came from. Oh, dear. This one's chalk lines like that. Oh, this is lovely. So this is your script going through. We were looking at blooper reel just before we came in. I think I've made it in again. Oh, now this is lovely. I like that. This one's receipts. Very nice in aqua. Then we've got our ticking going through. Lovely colours, and it's very subtle with the colours in there. This is okay. This is nice. This is your eggs and nests going through. This is the one I think Natasha was mentioned she had. Was this the one you had, or tickets? Sorry, it's the next one.
Tickets we've got on one of our chairs.
Yeah, there's the airmail, and there's your tickets. Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
That's nice. How about this? Now, you would tape measure. You're going to be using that in a project. You can imagine that.
Oh, I love that one.
That's nice. And what about this? Blue. That looks very elegant. Then we have our Dapper. Dapper's a good name. Good name. Strong name. And then finally, we have the Chrysanthemum. There we go. So those are all your fat quarters. Tim Holtz, we are very busy. Okay, Natasha. Normally, everyone knows Natasha, fantastic presenter here at Hochanda, and we always appreciate it when you lend a hand guesting as well. But as a presenter, when we have a busy show, what kind of cues would you expect on the phone lines? 4, 5?
4 or 5 minutes?
Yeah? Have you ever seen 7, 8?
Very rarely.
Right, rare.
Rare, yeah.
It's not 10. 11 now minute queue. It was 10 a few seconds ago. We have got 11-minute queues.
Oh my
I'm
goodness.
so sorry if you're stuck in a queue right now, because it's one of my pet hates. And I've got to tell you, what? One of these, the receipt sold out. So the receipt here. No, the receipt's this one. The receipt in aqua. The receipt in aqua has gone, I'm afraid. So that is serious, because the one-day special looks like it's not going to last the hour. We are starting to lose options with the half meter. And again, when these are gone, they have gone. The one-day... Natasha, this is ridiculous. I know you said it was going to be a busy show. One-day special, we are over 70% of the stock. I was going to say, okay, I'm flustered. Right, we just got to tell you a little bit about the K Facet. So these are K Facet. They're shot fabrics, and Natasha, I'm going to let her explain. But this is what I say. Every time I work with Natasha, I learn. And she was telling me, like, K Facet, when he was starting out, went to India and really tried to. He built his reputation, name, bring you beautiful fabrics. And with these, the reason they're different. If I just lift this one up, and it is stunning. The feel of the fabrics are incredible. They are so soft. You've got effectively a different warp and weft. So what that allows you to do, it gives those that different inflection of color coming through. They are incredible fabrics. The colors, the feel, the quality, everything about these are exceptional. This is the fabric, or one of the fabrics, that really solidified K Facet's reputation within the industry. So if you want to get hold of these, they are a pick and mix, any two, and there's a wonderful story behind them, but I'll let Natasha tell you all about that. $15.99 is your price, 158,457 your item number. Did you want it, Natasha? It is a really nice story. Just tell us a little bit about the shots of fabric.
It's not quite 11 minutes long, but we'll, we'll give it a go. Yeah. So Kaif wanted to go to India, and because he's inspired by colour, and India is absolutely full of colour. So he went over there with a charity to help bring some economy to deprived areas. And there was one village that hand wove their fabrics, and basically he wanted to bring, and he started off with a striped woven fabric, but it's like this, it's a shot, so the warp and the weft, so the warp goes up and the weft goes left, if you imagine, and one will be one colour, the warp will be one colour, and the weft will be another colour. And the movement of colour, and that's why those are so stunning, because you get that difference in colour. There's a couple like that in there, and it's just exquisite. So he basically had to learn how to put those colours together to get that third colour. It's mixing colours, but not like you'd mix paint, it's mixing colours through weaving them together. So it was a completely different way of working for him. So he arrives in this village, and then he's told that the guy with the dyes for the fabrics lives quite a way away. So they get in, and it's 3 or 4 hours drive, bumpy, and they get there. But it's dark by then. Now, anybody that has anything to do with colour, does any kind of crafting, knitting, anything like that, knows that you choose your colours under artificial light at your peril. But bless him, under artificial lights, he had to choose these crucial colours that then had to somehow blend into these beautiful striped woven fabrics. So that was his first challenge, and then they took these dyes back, and they started to weave these fabrics and created these incredible colours, these beautiful woven fabrics. And actually it was with those woven fabrics, I believe, that he won the Houston Quilting Festival, which is the biggest quilting festival in America is the big Houston show, and his first ever event like that. And of course he comes with these fabrics that he's designed and woven, and of course, wins everything.
Amazing.
And doesn't realise that, quite the accolade that it is. But that's where this has come from. And off the back of Kaif's fabrics, this very rundown village now can weave all the time, because when the rains came before, they sat outside and then the gullies would be filled with water and then they couldn't continue to weave, so they were limited as to how much they could actually do. So now they have proper equipment, they can do it undercover, they have electricity, all off the back of Cave's work, which I think is fantastic.
Incredible. Thank you so much for sharing
No,
that
you're
story, Natasha. Look, I've got to tell you, and we are going to get to demonstration right now. Apologies, I know we kind of took a little bit of time to go through the fabrics, but obviously you want to see what you're buying. With a little update for the one-day special, I want to put this into context. Genuinely, we try to ensure, and I really mean this, we try to ensure that we have enough stock for the full 24 hours, because there's no point day in day out if we brought you a one-day special and it's sold out within the first hour or two. There are occasions where we have something that is truly special and it does fly. This is one of those hours. It's now where you definitely have to get in early, because 3/4 of the stock has gone. So I anticipate that the fat quarters, potentially, I don't want to put a jinx on it, but I don't think they're going to last the hour. Even if they do last the hour, they're definitely not going to be here tomorrow at 8 o'clock for the first hour of our one-day special. We cannot get hold of any more. We've asked the question, and we know that categorically we cannot get hold of any more of the fat quarters. $69.97. We are talking Tim Holtz fat quarters, and you can take advantage of the flexi payments as well. $34.99 today. We send them all out to you. They are stunning, but to really do them justice, we have to see them in action. So here is the lovely Natasha.
Hello, right. So I first started bringing Tim Holtz fabric into my home because my husband had got fed up of flowery fabrics everywhere. So I had to find something other than Tilda and things like that that he would, he would enjoy being around, because it's his home as much as mine. And Tim Holtz was that fabric. So it's the fabric that I go to when I need a gift to make for my brother, my dad, my husband, anybody that like that. Perfect, absolutely perfect. And so it occurred to me, what does everybody have? Everybody has technology. And so if you are someone that wants to make for someone for their birthday, for Christmas, for Father's Day, anything like that, then this is a really easy make to do. It also occurred to me that everybody's tablets, iPads, Kindles, all those sorts of things, they're all different sizes now, aren't they? Every time they bring out a new one, it's a slightly different size from the old one. So my challenge I set myself was to create a pattern for you to be able to create a tablet cover, whatever the size your tablet was. There are a few prototypes, I'll be honest. There are a few. Some were salvageable, others not so much. But the upshot is what I'm going to show you today. And we've got the pattern on the show as well. So and in fact, you can, so it's there, and you can see you've got an option for 3 different coloured bindings: a dark grey, a light grey, or a navy, should you wish. So the first thing to do, obviously, is get said tablet. It's going to be tears at bedtime now, no Peppa Pig. Yeah. Whoops, I'm not there. And okay, so it will fit onto this size fabric. So it needs to be sort of that kind of width. There is a formula to it. So basically, measure your width. This is all in your instructions. Hang on, helps if I do it this way. Measure your width there. So that is, by the time it's on its side, that is 7, because that's the thing, isn't it? It's got to wrap around. And so if I then, so that's about 13, and then add on 1.5 inches that way. So I'll take that to 14, and then add on 1 inch to the top. And write it, where's my piece of paper? Write it down. Write it down. I'll write it down on the back of my instructions, but just write it down somewhere, because you will otherwise forget it. Here we go. So, what did I say? 14 inches by, ooh, 9.5, so that will be 10.5 inches. Yeah, just check, that's right. Yeah, oh no, hang on, double the amount of element and add 2. So let's make that 14 and a half. There we go, 14 and a half inches by 10 and a half inches. Now, we will cut an outer and an inner sized fabric for that. So, if you are looking at directional fabrics, then decide which way and how you want them. I've just gone for a plain for my inside fabric because you're not always going to see it. So I didn't want to waste my gorgeous Tim Holtz stuff on that. Just to make sure I've got enough space, I will just fold that up there and then find me, there we go, put it there. So let's just take off there. You see, this is why I write it down, because I honestly cannot remember for 2 seconds. Right, so then I've got stuff to use later. Then I will spin it around and fold it up again. And this time, and if you've bought your Stripology ruler this afternoon, congratulations, you're going to be able to use it to do this cutting so much more easily than otherwise. So there, your fabric piece is gone. So now I have, that is my external fabric there, gorgeous. And then I've got my lining fabric there, fab. Now, the next bit is kind of up to you. In fact, all of this is your own choice. So I then take off ½ an inch off my measurements for my wadding. Now, how squidgy you want that to be is entirely up to you. I use H640 for mine. You can double that up. You can, it's a fusible wadding. But you can use any kind of wadding. You can quilt it into place. Maybe we'll do one side quilted and one side not, just to show you. But I would just take a little bit, I've got zips for later demos and everything going on here. So I would just take ½ an inch off. So I need that 14 by 10. And that is, that will then, if I want to do, you know, that it can then be really cushioned, or it can just be that it is just going to be, a cover. So it doesn't have to be incredibly cushioned. It depends how you want it to be and what you feel you're going to get the use of it for. For me, when I travel back and forth to Hochanda, if I have breaks in between shows and I need to catch up with some work, then it's to protect. It's just to have something in so the screen doesn't get scratched and what have you. Well, because it goes in all my bags when I'm toing and froing. So it's just having that extra little bit. So, you know, you can do just one of those. Let's show you a quilted version. If I show you both versions, then you've got every option available to you, haven't you? And then it'll be lovely and squidgy. So let's take that. And again, this will be down to personal preference as to how you want it to look, whether you like quilting or don't like quilting, or anything else really. So do that the same. But how quick is this? I mean, I know we did the show earlier with the grids, and I know that a lot of you went for this Stripology, but honestly, it just makes such a difference to be able to quickly and easily cut those. And they are still on the website. Right, here we go. So, they are my two options. That's my cutting done, by the way. That's it. Easy, easy, easy. So, one I will fuse to. That's really pretty simple. What should we do? Quilt the outer one, shall we? Yeah. So we'll just fuse on the fusible. Put it in the middle. So the reason we're going to bind this, okay, so there's going to be a binding that's going to go all the way around. So that's why there's the gap around there, so there isn't all that bulk for when you bind it. So I'll just take it over to my pressing mat. And if you've ever used H640, it's just got these little bubbles of glue on the top that will just melt. just gently. And if you look on the selvage, if you ever forget, well, I know when I first started, I really didn't understand all the different bindings and waddings and interfacings and everything. I just didn't understand what they all did, when you used them, when you didn't use them, what stiffness. It was a minefield. But with Vaseline and things like that, on the selvage, they give you the instructions as to how to use them. So even if you've only got a little bit left, just keep a bit of the top so that you know how to do it. So it's about 15 seconds. Just gives it enough to just melt those little glue dots, and then we'll quilt the other half, and that then gives you options as to how you would like to do yours. There we go. Okay. So with the other one, you just want to place it again in the middle, and then find your middle point. You can do it by measuring, or you can do it the old-fashioned way by just finding that midpoint. And however you want to quilt it, I will just straight line quilt it, so I'll just mark it off and then take it under the machine and just quilt it from there. So I think, Yanis, you've got stock updates, haven't you?
I do. We will be continuing. Okay, so I just want to show you actually something. Natasha in the show earlier, if you did watch it, made these two fantastic cushions and used weave fabric from the one-day special. So you can see the Tim Holtz fabric that we have featured today, just showing how effective they are and how they all work together as well. So really, really nice cushions. It's well worth watching and revisiting at that hour. Okay, we're going to talk to you about the one-day special. We are over 3/4 of the stock. It's going to take a couple of minutes, but I really think it's worth it. Shall we just open up and look at exactly what you're getting? You are getting 21 fat quarters. You are saving £11, but these aren't ordinary fat quarters. Tim Holtz. So Tim Holtz has built a reputation. Stripes is hard on camera, so I'm not going to linger on this one. If I close that up. The thing is, Tim Holtz has built a reputation on his colours, and we know that from his distress inks range, distress oxides, but being able to see those and his stamps, his designs in fabric form, so a totally different reinvention of Tim Holtz. Now this fat quarter I'm holding in my hand is a great example of why Tim Holtz is so immensely popular worldwide, and we've got viewers joining us from across the globe right now, UK, Europe, America. Thank you so much for tuning in, and you are all part of the Hochanda family. That is just one fat quarter of the 21 that you are getting with the one-day special. And as we go through this, each one is an absolute cracker. Look at that. We've got the letters coming through, but the color hues, the way it all coordinates, the balance, everything works. Tim Holtz just knows what he's doing. The quality of the fabric as well is very important, because it's beautiful quality. And look, if it's got Tim Holtz's name to it, you know that they wouldn't have skimped in any aspect of the fabric that you're getting in here. This is the tickets that we were talking a little bit earlier on with Natasha, and she has this proudly displayed in her home. Love it. This is why Tim Holtz is so popular, though. It is the designs he gives you. I mean, look, I saw this one, and I know that the whole team, so Charlotte, our producer, loves this too. You're going to like this. Oh, yes. So you've got those aged, distressed tape measures coming through. Love that. Closing that up. And then this is another, I keep saying this is another one of my favorites. Each one is an absolute classic. What about that? That is such a lovely design. There's something so regal and elegant, refined about blue. But then you just get that little bit of colour in there as well. That's very nice. Okay, and then carry on down. Now, you can go for these as options. So everything I've just shown you now, that is an option, set number 3, 7 fat quarters. So I've just shown you set number 3 of the sets of 7. You can find them at the bottom of your screen. Okay, so that's your first 7. But of course, if you are going for the complete collection, which pretty much everybody is, you don't have to worry about collections because you are getting the whole lot. Let's carry on down. So everything I'm showing you right now, if you have invested or you're going to invest in the one-day special, this is what you can enjoy. We've got musical notes coming through. Oh, Come on, that looks amazing. All right, we like that. Then a little splash of color. This to me has got a little bit of the Monet about it. Isn't that nice? But I don't know why, but I just get the sense of pointillism. Very nice. Beautiful. And another thing, and I know Natasha talks about this often with fat quarters, it's the diversity it could add to your stash. So the quality of the fabric and design, but having so many different colorways and designs, they all work together, but equally you're adding a huge amount of options into your stash at home. So that was the chalk lines, if memory serves. And then, so as I'm going through this, the only question I would ask you, could you imagine working with these fat quarters, having these in your home, proudly displayed, and ultimately using them as well? The layer of detail that you are getting. All right. Oh, come on. I've got 4 words for you. Get in my basket. Look at that. I love it. We have been busy for the one-day special for pretty much the whole show. The only time we always know this, that when we do a demonstration, viewers obviously like to enjoy the demonstration, which is absolutely fine. That's what we're here for. But the minutes, I think a lot of you were enjoying Natasha's demonstration and just learning how to do that beautiful design. But now, when we start looking at it again, the figure's just going up and up and up. The cues starting to come back. So if you do, that is such a lovely piece. I mean, there is so much going on there. The layers of detail, the colors, the design that you are getting. And that is just one fat quarter. And as sewers, you'll know the amount you can do with just one fat quarter, 27. And we've not even gone through the whole design. This is what you do. When you get this home, you will open them up and enjoy each fat quarter. 21 in total. Go through all the designs. It is going to be an absolute treat when you do get these home. Okay, so those are the designs that we are getting. We opened up the first 7 when we first went down the counter. So you've pretty much seen, well, you have seen all the designs, the full 21, $34.99 your price here, saving £11. Tim Holtz Foundation, the mega fat quarter bundle, contains 21 fat quarters in total, 845270, your item number. Another aspect that has been incredibly busy, it's Tim Holtz. So all the designs that you've just seen in the fat quarters, you can get in half meters, pick and mix, very, very busy for these. $14.99 a price. We have had another sellout, so we've already had one. The Symphony, which would be the musical notes. Is this the Symphony? We're just checking. We just need to double check, because I don't want to take it off the counter if it's still in stock. I think it's gone. Yes, okay, so the Symphony, I'm afraid the Symphony has gone as an individual option going through. Should we have a look? Just go very, very, very quickly. I know I've just shown them here, but you get to see all the designs coming through. So as you see, being able to enjoy, this is a beautiful one. It's got a bit of a Parisian elegance to it. When you see the designs from a fat quarter but translated into the half meter, you get, I don't know, it does change the dynamic going through. Lovely, subtle undertones of color there and design. This one's nice too. So layers. This is where Tim Holtz, he just knows what he's doing. Maps, vintage, come on. You'll use it. You will love it. See these two, how well they work. The sort of vintage sort of text and the maps. I mean, that you can instantly see it works together. Or if you want to inject some color, we saw that one. I kind of described it as looks like a beautiful picture. The chalk lines, which we saw. But still, it's not a solid color because you get different color values coming through. It's like a bit of a batik. Then we've got more of a vintage script going on here. Yeah.
Going for a half meter as opposed to the fat quarters is that generally a pattern repeat will be anything up to 40 centimeters.
Right.
So what I mean by that is patterns will obviously repeat over and over and over the length of the bolt of fabric.
Yeah.
But generally you will have a pattern repeat within 40 centimeters.
Okay.
So if you're getting that half meter, you get the full repeat. whereas the fat quarter you won't.
Okay. That's a major point.
Yeah.
That's a major point. Thank you,
So if there's
Natasha.
one you really love,
Yeah.
maybe go for the ½ meter as well.
Okay. Yeah. Good advice. That's a really good point, Natasha. And this is why I love working with you, because that's just not something I would have been aware of before working with you. Okay, so we carry on going down, just seeing all of these wonderful designs. I do know that we saw these in the within the one-day special, so I apologise just taking some time there, but we wanted to show you them as a ½ meter as well. If you do have any questions, Natasha is here and would love to speak to you. studio@hochanda.com. We're just going to jump onto the website very quickly. So this is your Tim Holtz Foundation ½ meter fabric pick and mix. Pick any two. We got the world map. This is the best way to go through it. So the bouquet multi, you've got the dictionary neutral there, your expedition. Do have a look online. It is the best way to ensure that you are getting the right design that you're looking for. Now, just before we head back to Natasha, just wanted to show you the tablet pattern that we're getting here. What I love about this, and something Natasha touched on, the thing with the tablets, and Natasha, absolutely right, all tablets are different sizes. So the real genius of this design is Natasha, and this took some engineering, and this is where Natasha is so clever, because she's come up with a pattern that allows you then to adapt and personalize to a specific size. This isn't a pattern where it's a set size, and if your tablet's bigger or smaller, you're kind of stuck. You will adapt your design to the size of the tablet, because your tablet might be one size, but then you're going to make it for somebody else, and it's a totally different size. Where I really think this comes into its own, because we talk about tablet size, Natasha's actually made a case for her laptop. So forget tablet, we've taken it to a whole different level. You can create a case for your laptop with the fabric we have on the show, or fabric you have in your stash. But I have to say, the Tim Holtz fabric, whether it's a tablet case or a laptop case, works so well. Speaking of which, I think we're going to head back to Natasha now and continue our demonstration.
Oh, I put a sneaky pocket on my laptop one as well, so I could put my earphones and pens and stuff in the front as well. So yeah, that's what you can start to do when you're designing your own. So we've got our 2 layers of wadding here. That's choice. One is absolutely perfect as well. Now there are various ways that I looked at fastening these. You can use Velcro, hook and loop fastening. You can use poppers. You can use buttons. Actually, buttons with some elastic the other side. If you put a button on there and then attach your elastic through the binding, and then that's a lovely way. I'm going to show a magnetic clasp. I didn't when I demoed this on my Natasha Make Show the other day, because I wasn't sure if magnets were okay with electronic devices, and then everyone went, yeah? What are you being so cautious about? So I'm like, fine. Fine, on your head be it, I'll give it a go. So when you have these, basically just stop it from ripping through the fabric. When you have a magnetic clasp, and these are really strong ones, you have, whoop, there we go. You have the male and the female part of the clip. So I'm going to put the male side on here, and then the female, the female part there, and the male one will clip over the top. So imagine this is going to be folded, and we do this now because we'll bind it later. So it's a good thing to have in now, because before these two get sewn together, I want to hide all the gadgets, all the workings in there, and not have it there where it will scratch your screen. So now is the time to do it. So if you're inserting anything like this, do it now. What I would say is, you see, that's going to go the other side of the fabric. So use that. Decide whereabouts you want to do it, in the middle or whatever. Make sure that you do it far enough in that you're not going to catch it with your wadding, with your binding. And so if you want it sort of in the middle there, and then just make 2 little marks like that, and then get your very sharpest little scissors. And actually I'm going to take that away, because knowing my luck, I'll just snip through all of that. And just fold it in half and make a tiny little snip. And again, go smaller rather than bigger, because you can always go bigger, but you can't, you can't sort of sew it up again. And just try and put those through there like so. You see, there we go, they're tiny. Now, this is going to come under some stick, right? This is going to be done up, undone, done up, undone. So what I would say is get another bit of your wadding, just another little square. And again, I would reinforce that with another bit of wadding. Again, just fold it and snip it, or if you've got interfacing or something, just giving it a little bit of extra oomph there. There they go through. And then you put that on there and then push those out. Quite straightforward, says our producer. She is surprised by this. You thought it would be harder. No, that's it. That's absolutely it. But then you see, that is attached. But when that lining will go back on, it's then hidden. Okay. Now, the binding is going to go on, and I'm going to use this grey binding. And I also use this for the other fastening. Okay, so that will go around there. So what I will do, again with this, because I don't want that going all the way through, is I'll take a length of the binding. You get plenty, by the way. You get 3 meters. Well, I didn't know how big everyone's things were going to be. Did I? That was my problem. I didn't know how big everything was going to be. So I'm just going to make that little snip there, that little snip there. And then we will just do exactly the same. Make a little snip, and put that through. If you want to make your own kind of clasp, then you can. Absolutely, you can. I'm going to get another little bit of wadding. Again, this just helps to reinforce. I might even double up. Ooh, let's go crazy, shall we? And it's just giving it that extra little bit of oomph as we go. And then pop that through there, that way, and then through that one, that on there, and then you can just trim that back a little bit there. And then by the time that is folded over, and you'll trim that back, and you can just stitch across there and across there to hold it in place, and then down there, then you are good to go with that. But I will just trim back a little bit on those sides there and neaten it up and make it look smart. And that will be fine. So if I just still got it attached to the roll. And again, so I'm just going to go over the edge, just obviously avoiding going through the actual element there. Now there are lots of different ways. You can of course make your own claspy thing out of some of the out of the fabric as well, and then you can really hide it. I would redo that because that's scuffed it, but you get the idea. We'll come back to that because we're going to have a look now at what we then do on the inside. So from in here, this is your inside, fold it in half and mark that halfway point. How long have I got? Okay. So that is there and there. That's my halfway point. Okay. Now, from there, I then want to mark 2 inches in, down there, and 2 inches there. And I'm going to do that on every corner. We're going to put some elastic to keep it from slipping out, okay? And these are just the markings. Now, if you're doing a large piece, so for my laptop, what I did was for my laptop, hang on, sorry, what am I doing? There. For my laptop, all I did was I put an extra 1/2 inch on, which was fine, just because it was a larger thing that it had to contain. Okay. So then just a little piece of elastic will go from there to there. Now I normally use thicker elastic, but obviously between here and home it's dropped out somewhere. So I would normally use slightly thicker elastic, but someone very kindly lent me some. So yeah, we won't say they're slightly unaware they've lent it, but they have inadvertently saved the day, for which we are all very, very, very grateful. So yeah, so with the thicker elastic, that would just lie along there, and what you're going to do is just stitch over, just back and forth, just a couple of times in each little place, just to start to sew it in. So we'll start to do that now. And again, if you don't want this to come through both layers, then don't just do it on one of the layers, if that makes sense. If you don't want to see this from the cover. Again, this is much easier with thicker elastic. But on that marker that you've done, go forwards. Oh, no. Might have to hand stitch this one in. See, I didn't try that one, did I? There we go, let's try over. There we go. It just needs, basically we're just tacking it in. And along here, so I'll have a little bit more of a run up. Watching this woman with this elastic that looks very familiar. Oh no, I've missed it. This is really a little bit too narrow, but we're gonna give it a go. So bear with me. It's amazing how stuff can just travel, isn't it? We got it. We got it. Ah! I'm gonna go in with some tweezers. Talk amongst yourself for a minute. There we go. Right, we'll get that in. But imagine that this is done. There we go. Okay, so we've got the technology, really. There you go. And the thing is, this is all going to be hidden by your binding, so it doesn't matter if it takes you a couple of goes. In fact, it's probably better that it does, because what that means is that it's going to be more. There we go. It's going to be firmer in, isn't it? So.
Time has beaten us, but it's been an absolute pleasure. So first look at the one-day special, Tim Holtz. At one point, we really did think it was going to go this hour. We weren't far off selling out this hour. We still have it, though, in stock. Our fabulous Tim Holtz, 21 fat quarters, $69.97 your price. But if you are going to take advantage of the flexi payments, $34.99. You get all of them. And it's nice just looking at them as a whole collective, thinking about that diversity. Imagine these in your home. Just take stock. And I tell you someone, this one-day special is going to appeal to one of our presenters, the lovely Paola, who's in, because Paola, I know we obviously appreciate how talented she is as a soft crafter, but she has really been exploring, sorry, paper crafter, she's really been exploring her soft crafting as well. So she made some fabulous, it was a quilt, was it, Paola? I know we can't hear. Quilt and the skirt that she's wearing. So Paola loves Tim Holtz. She can actually claim fame that she has met Tim Holtz, and he refers to Paola as Lady P. He even signed some stuff for her, so she's good friends with Tim Holtz. But imagine being able to work with Tim Holtz designs on fabric. That is what's making this one-day special so special. So we have got the 21 fat quarters, 845270 item number. I talked about the fact there was a danger these could sell out this hour. They have held on. We don't know what's going to happen though over the night, because we have repeat shows. So and we have got an hour in between shows as well. Potentially, I can never say what's going to happen. I don't have a crystal ball, but you could tune in tomorrow at 8 o'clock and find we only have a little bit of stock left, or we don't have any stock left. So my advice, if you do want to get hold of these, don't leave it to chance. Get it into your basket. Don't forget about the pick and mix too. You're getting 2.5 meters for $14.99. So you get to pick out of all of these beautiful fabrics. So exact same designs that you get in the fat quarters, but you're getting them represented in the 1/2 meter. And we have another pick and mix, the K facet, the shots of color as well. Can we just get away from Natasha as well? Natasha, thank you so much. You will be with, as Tim Holtz said, Lady P. So it's going to be Paola and Natasha later on, so do make sure to tune in. It's going to be a fantastic hour. Thank you so much for joining us. I really hope you have enjoyed this hour. You can always revisit it on our website. Enjoy your fabrics, make something fabulous with them, and share a picture with Hochanda as well. We'd love to see.